Okay, so this is 11. Okay, let's clear away this one first. So for Monday, right? Monday's trade, you guys want to draw the zones? I can someone just draw on the chart. Then I can tell you like on the daily whether the zones are correct. So this is your practice time. Go ham on the chart. Yep. Yep. So we've got this daily demand, right? So if you were to come in on Monday and you start to notice that price did this, let me put up the 50% for you. So you notice that price kind of bounced off the 50, but not really. Would you be trying to take sells at this area? Or would you prefer to take buys if you saw the chart like this on a Monday? So I can go down to the 4-hour, right? Anyone want to go and mark up the 4-hour zones first? If the 4-hour is confusing, let me know. I can give you a hint. This. So if we look at this breakout structure of this, because this is a 4-hour chart, so all these highs, right, they are quite relevant to me. These peaks are the even higher time frame highs and lows. So this breakout structure, I will then put up this zone over here, demand zone here. Okay. Oops. Yeah, you got it, Spencer. So yeah, and it's also lower high. So just take note of all this. So if you're buying, right, don't buy to like sky high prices. Just watch for the structure as well. So if you were to put this 50% up again, so this timing is, so let me push to London Open because that's when we most of us start trading, right? So this is the pre-London. No, sorry. This candle here is the pre-London close. Okay. This next one is the 4-hour close during London. So for me, when the 4-hour is forming lower highs, price came in, rejected my 4-hour 50% level. When I see a candle doing a wick rejection like this, right? This gives me no information. Like I can't see it. Okay, some other people can, like Andy can see, but I cannot see this. So I will go down to the hourly. Oh, I still have a wick rejections. I don't see anything. I don't see structure. So what I would then do is I'll just go down to the 15 and I can see a change in structure. So you notice how this is the 4-hour 50%. You notice how none of these two bearish candles, even though price was coming down so hard, it did not close below the 4-hour 50% level. And I had this bullish candle forming a higher low. Okay, this is crucial for me. No close below bullish candle does not break the previous low. I will make my entry on the next candle when it flips bullish. The moment I see that this wick here does not break these two. So my entry will then be here, stop loss below the lowest wick because it is also below the 4-hour 50%, which I already know is holding. So if you want to be more conservative, you can put it here. But for me, because I waited for price to confirm its direction for me, that's why I'm willing to put it here. Okay. But if you are the kind that uses pending entries, right, I don't suggest you put it here because you don't know how low it will dip. So you might need to place your stop loss below the zone if you are using pending entries. That's a bit safer in my opinion. Okay, because John, I know you use pending, right? So sometimes maybe for pendings, you might have to have your stop loss a bit bigger. But then again, you also go for the bigger move, you see. So you kind of go like to the next daily or the 4-hour zone. So then this kind of stop loss sizing will make sense for you. So it depends on how you want to enter your trades. Okay, so for me, how I'll manage the trade next is, as I'm on the 15-minute and I've entered the trade, right? You notice how price has this highs over here and this, these highs over here. So it's messy, right? Do I want to take some here or do I want to take some here? Again, if there's two structures fairly close to each other, like this is only like 20 pips, right? I'll go up to the 1 hour and I'll look for the cleaner area. Oh no, don't hang. So if I push up to the 1 hour, it's very clear which area you should be taking TP1 above this. So once I've reached that area, right, my trade will be at BE, and then I will usually aim for a higher time frame zone above. That's how I manage my trades. So if you want, you can also point out, you can also put up this 1 hour supply zone over here so that when price comes into it, right, you want to be careful and take some profits at that point in time. Both are valid. Makes sense so far? I think on Monday also I think some of us managed to take like shots before these longs. So the shots, right, were from this area here. Because overall on the 4 hour, like what Spencer pointed out just now, right, we are still making lower highs. And the 4 hour candle before London was doing this nonsense. So this area here, if I zoom into the 1 hour, if you notice, it is also respecting this 1 hour break or structure. And this was the zone that started that break or structure. So if I were to put up a 50% at this level here, you'll see that in like none of the candles close below. See? Same criteria for entry. Bullish candle pushed up into the zone, failed to close below. Next 1 hour lower high, take your entry shot. When it flips bearish, stop loss above the 50, aim for either your 4 hour zone, 1 hour zone, or the 50, depending on how you want to manage your trades. Does this make sense so far? Yeah. So the key thing for me is really watching the lower highs and the higher lows at my specific buy areas and sell areas. Yeah. Because price was still ranging. So again, the reason why I'm waiting in the 50% in this case, right, is because price is ranging. This, if we go up to the 4 hour, it's quite clear that yes, it's slowly trying to trickle down, but it's kind of consolidating at the same time. Versus this kind of move, this is a clear strong trend. This is consolidation to me. Or whatever you want to call it, like bear flag, whatever it is. Okay. So this was the 14 done. So if I go to the next day. Anyway, this thing was I already marked it up in the PDF for you already. So I think it should be quite clear. Let me clear this.
I have a question on the stop loss placement.
Wait, I see you very soft.
Sorry. Question on the stop loss placement just now, right? For the last,
The long, is it?
Short one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like here you put the stop right above the 50%, but the zone was all the way up there, right? Now, what is the criteria that we should look for to allow us to put the stop above the 50% versus above the whole zone?
Okay. If you place it, okay, above the zone is a conservative stop loss.
Yeah.
To me personally, that's what I think. Above this 50%, is the aggressive stop loss. But I'm willing to take the aggressive stop loss because if you notice the 1 hour, these two candles here, right? Lower highs already. 1 hour lower high. This is the 1 hour time frame. So for you, you enter on the 15, right? So if you go on the 15, let's say you look at this area, right? You notice price is also creating lower highs. So you can be safe to put above the 50% here already because you're not expecting it to break anymore because your view is that price is coming down from this sell area. So you don't want this high to break anyway. Or rather, you don't want the 50% to break.
Okay.
Does it make sense? The key thing is really about the lower highs.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
one of the things I was looking at just now when you talked about the lower time frame, would you say that the fact that, let me draw it, it's easier.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the candle. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just trying to get a rectangle. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm looking at the entry of that 15. Yeah, so here you go. The entry of that 15-minute candle, would you say it's not about the price tapping into the entry of the body, but more just the actual, the whole candle in itself? Then it can reject anywhere from there.
Yes, because this one, okay, let me move left. So this one on the 15, right? If you were refining your zone some more within this big 1 hour zone, right? You can also refine it to this area, correct? I think that's what you're looking at, right? So if you notice, it already tapped into the area also. So this is your 15-minute sell zone.
Yeah.
This bigger one is your hourly. So the fact that it already tapped into a 15-minute sell zone, just go. Lower highs, go. Trust it and go. That's all I can say. It's quite scary when you see a big move coming in. I agree. When you're first starting on this strategy, it's quite scary. But remember just now I said 15-minute and below, a tap into the zone is all I need for it to grab the orders to come down. Did I manage to answer your question? Oh no, John got cut off. Oops. Okay, never mind. But you got the rest of y'all get it, right? Okay. Yeah, but yes, Spencer, you're right also. Also, the reason why you can trust these cells is because 4 hour is already lower highs. This thing is like so stupid bearish. It's not even funny. Yeah. So as long as you follow the higher time frame, it's likely to just come down. Okay, so this was the 14. So if I push on into the 15, Rico, did I manage to answer your question about what I look for? As I go through more examples, it will make more sense already. Let me see. Okay. 5 to 9. Okay, this one. Pre-London, 4-hour close. Okay, so we see at this current juncture now. So these zones are broke, right? So we see Christ just smash through the entire zone. So for me now, this zone is not valid for me anymore. So I'll just delete it off my chart. Then I'll start to look. I always intraday, I always pay attention to daily 4-hour and below. I don't look at the weekly anymore because I'm trading within the week's ranges after that. So in this case here, we see that price broke this structure on the 4-hour, right? So again, this zone is not valid anymore because it already tapped into the 50. So then I will delete this, and who wants to identify the zone? This is quite easy, I think, because it's a 4-hour. It's a very big candle. Yeah, you got it. So this one here, draw it up 50% again. Drag it to the right. So right now, we want to see if price wants to continue breaking structure, break, come back into the zone, collect some more orders, continue higher, right? If it's now turning bullish since it managed to break this structure. But the thing that concerned me was after the breakout structure, this looks like a very weak move up, continuing higher. So that's why at this current area, I was looking for sells or buys somewhere inside this area here, right? So if we punch forward, see price coming down. So if I'm looking, if I know that price has already broken a high, right? My next thought process is, okay, it needs to come down first. Once it breaks the high, there's a point in time where price will come down so that it can continue up. So for me, I will then look left. Notice this here. This is on the 4-hour, yeah? So notice this zone here because it broke this lows here. That's why that zone is valid. Okay, so when this thing reject, this was the one that I missed because I wanted price to come in a bit deeper for me to I think 616. This was the one that was like quite badly missed. This was quite sad. So this area here, right? If we look at it, even before this candle formed, the 1 hour already gave us signals to take shots because this is a 4-hour zone. Price tapped into the zone on the hourly, created lower highs. So effectively, right, if you wanted to be, if this 1 hour candle, again, because it's just a wick, not much details given, right? Just go down to the 15. You'll start to see the lower highs forming already. Then, so you can enter anywhere this candle or this candle, in my opinion, and just stop loss above because it tapped into your 4-hour weekly area. So for me personally, I just take it when the lower highs are created, stop loss above this area, and then just take it down to the 4-hour below. Like this. So the reason why I'm taking it down to this area is because this is the next. If I go up to the hourly, oops, the hourly zone is here. This one over here. Okay. Damn, wait, give me a second. So on the hourly, it's this demand zone here, right? So I'll take my trade down to this area, or if you want to be a bit more aggressive, you can take it to the 50% also. So you can choose how you want to TP. But once price starts to come into the 1 hour sell area, watch the price action already. So bam. That makes sense. So if you look at this area, this candle coming in like that, right? I believe it will have given you some kind of signal that it's slowing down already. There. Weak rejection, 50% rejection. You can take this going up again. Higher lows in the 1 hour buy area go up. Take some profits here. So that's why I think John was asking me whether you can take trends going up or down. No, you can do them both because it already giving you the correct structure of the buy and sell areas. So I think this was how I would have caught the 15, I think. This is 15, right? Yeah, the trade on the 15, which we missed. I think me and Dee were waiting at 600 for price to push a bit higher. Okay. I think as I go on, then y'all will find that I'm repeating myself already. The one that I thought was quite interesting was after FOMC, when price just went to hell after that. So if I push forward to, oops, too far. 16, 9, 1, 9. Okay. So at this area here, I will delete this zone because it tapped into the 50. This 4 hour, I am Oh no, John. No. We were done already. It's just that for me, I was waiting at 600. I wanted it to come higher. That's why I missed it. I saw the 1 hour. We were talking about it. It's like the 1 hour trade, right? That we wanted to catch. I remember on that day itself, I personally was worried about one of the wicks. Wait, which one was it? I think it was this one. Or it was on Wednesday, I think. Yeah, I was worried about the structure not being able to break lower. That's why I didn't take the trade. I don't think it was because I was mentoring you at that time. Or was it Wednesday? I can't remember. I think it was Wednesday. But in any case, okay, so this is Wednesday's price action. 4 hours, not really doing anything. It's still making higher lows, higher highs. Oh, it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday was the one. Okay, so it's still making the higher lows on the 4 hour, but at the same time, it's still doing this on the top, right? So it's kind of squeezing already. Okay, so at this area here, 4 hour, does anyone know if there's a zone on the 4 hour? To me, the 4 hour is not that clean because the area here is not really a clean break of structure on the 4 hour. But if you drop down to the 1 hour, yeah, let's see, you're right. If you drop down to the 1 hour, then you have your clean close below the zone. So here, this is your 1 hour support, right? You all can see this. Clean close, start off move here. Supply. Right? So at this area here, I think this one, the mistake I made was I was trying to wait higher in the 1 hour zone. So I put up the 50. I was waiting at 400 for the cells. But when price started to come up, right, it tapped the box, didn't close above the box. Again, this is a 1 hour, yeah. That the box didn't close, 1 hour lower high. Go. Just go. Because the structure is still bearish. And plus, if we look at the 4 hour, right, this thing is quite crucial because if price managed to break this 4 hour high the previous day, why is it not continuing to make another high here? This was the thing that I should have asked myself at that point in time. So if it made another lower high on the 4 hour, higher probability this thing is coming down. So confirmation, 1 hour rejecting, closing below the zone. Next, this is the first signal that maybe sales are coming. This one should not break this high. And again, it is still below the 50% as well, right? The wicks even. Just go. Just take the trade and go. When it flips bearish, stop loss above the 50, go. Oops. Go down. Go down to the big daily zone below. This was the one I missed. So I think this trade, I got a bit confused because of the fact that the 4 hour was creating higher lows. So I wasn't that confident in price managing to break these lows or these lows. So I let the trade go. Then felt my life because this thing melted like nobody's business after MOMC. Oh, bye-bye. Yeah. So this was quite a bad miss. So does this make sense? This trade itself. Because the bearish pressure is clearly stronger than the bullish pressure. This thing has made lower highs for like damn long already, but this was in the past like 2 days only. So this trade here was valid to take, to be very honest. This 1 hour lower highs. It's just that for me, once I saw that I missed the 50%, I was kind of reluctant to chase the trade, but it was valid. Even if I took the trade slightly later, right? Let's say on the close, when the next candle flip bearish, it's still a decent RR. It's 3. So I think it's still possible to take entries. Just that you won't have such a super RR. Alternatively, so I can show you. Remember what I said just now about support and resistance being slower than supply and demand? So if you look at this area here on the hourly, this was a break of, let me put up in a different color. This was a break of support, right? Or if you want, okay, fine. We can use this earlier on here. Same thing. Both of them have entries. So you can also wait for break of support. When it starts to retest that level, right, start noticing the price action on the lower time frame. On the lower time frame, meaning like the 5 or the 1 minute. So if I push into that area, so that 1 hour line is the 1 hour support. Okay. So you notice, let me zoom in. So it might be a bit slow sometimes when price starts to come back to this area, but so this area here, price broke, came back up here, right? So this area might have been a bit confusing for some people to take because this might have been quite a bit of fake out. So this wasn't super clean. But if you ask me, there is another retest to this area here over at this one. So if I were to put up, let's say you took the trade at this area and you got stopped out because you're looking at this break or structure, 1 minute zone, right? So if I put it up on the screen, 1 minute, last zone is here. Then all this nonsense happened because of FOMC, right? If you miss this one or you got stopped out on this one, right? And price starts to come back to this same area again, or even this next FOMC area. So if I do markup. So this zone is not valid anymore because price broke with the wicks. So you can then mark up these zones here. So it's quite big, even though it's on the 1 minute because of news. So the latest break of structure here, right? You can start to mark up this zone here. Break. So it's going to be quite big. Or you can look at this one here also. And then you look to the right side. You would have some short trades on there, but I don't think at this time anybody was trading. So it is still valid. I'll show you a cleaner one. This one is not that clean because it's part of a news move. So you see very disgusting wicks happening. But a cleaner one will be after the news is done. So if I can go up. Let's see. So that one was the 16, 17. Where's my 17? Okay. So on 17, this was the price action we saw, right? So 17 is Thursday. So on Thursday, 4-hour broke structure here. So the start of the 4-hour move, you can delete this really because it already got tapped. And it's coming down. 4-hour is this giant zone here. Wait, this zone to me, not super clean. Which is why I didn't really like it on the 4-hour because if you notice, this was the zone, price came out of the zone, tapped into the 50 twice. So technically this 4-hour zone is not valid anymore. But if you go down to the 1 hour, you start to see zones that are valid. So I'll delete away the 4-hour. This is the breakout structure, right? On the hourly is the same area. Your hourly zone is here now. So the one that validated the zone is this candle when it came out. None of the candles after that touched the 50%. So if you were to put it up, we can start to wait at the 50% or the open of the zone to sell down because this is starting to continue bearish. So if we push forward, step into the zone. So this candle will be making me watch out for price action already on the hourly. So if it's just a wick, again, I will just go down to the 15. I'll go down to the 15 and I'll wait. Lower high, go. Ding. When it flips bearish, just take it and go. Come down to the 4-hour zone again. Bye bye. Okay. So again, this one, when you ask me what time frame should I look for me personally, if I see the 1-hour rejection like that, I'll just straight away go to the 15 and wait already. That's about it. Then I just take it to the next zone here. Does this make sense on how I find the entries within this area? I think Rico just now you're asking, right? So far, does how I look for the entry make sense? What is so this daily zone I would have cleaned it off already after price like came inside here. So if I clean this off, daily zone clean off, you can just aim for these lows here. When it breaks, start to trail your stop loss down. Break this area, start to trail it down. So the reason why I'm not really drawing my supply zones here, right, is because if you look left, the first supply zone here, this big one, already tapped and already going to break. So this one gone. Next one. This one. Notice how this one already tapped, especially the 50%. The 50% is quite crucial for me. Notice how this one, I'll be careful when it starts to come inside here. So if I see something like this, right, big bearish candle stop there. Oh, I will take some profits already. I won't play. Because if it goes up again, then I'll lose all my profits. So I'll take some here, especially if it starts to tap into a zone like this. Especially at the 50% level. Because this is clear higher lows also. On the hourly. Okay. So see. This one is on the 17. Yeah, this is the 4-hour close. But that being said, right, if you're already in a short trade, I mean, technically, if you really wanted to take the retest, no one is really stopping you to go up to this zone over here. I mean, if you wanted to be a bit more advanced, it's possible, but I don't suggest we do it first. Just keep it clean. Don't take too many trades. But if it does come up, right, I'll be watching for this area to sell off again. But given that if price is doing this kind of nonsense, right, it means the bearish trend is very strong already. It's not going to come here anymore because it's even breaking the previous 4-hour low on the left. Okay, so I'm going to go on to Friday, and Friday's trade is a bit cleaner, so I can explain to you support and resistance, break and retest also. Even if you wanted to take the break and retest over at this area, it's possible also. So for example, you see that price is coming up here, right? You are expecting, okay, maybe it might come up into this area, the 1-hour supply zone, sell off from there, maybe, right? Look at this support here. If you are a support and resistance trader, right, you will wait for the break, you would trade the retest, correct? If you think of it from that perspective, retest came here. So because price is very bullish, very bearish at that point in time, after all the news came out, right? You can watch for this area here on the lower time frame for the structure. So I'll put up the, let me delete this. So I'll put up the low here, okay? Or yeah, one of these areas here. Or you can even put this latest low here, the 1-hour low. Okay, so if you notice at the 1-hour area, right, that there is lower highs forming on the hourly, you can just go to the 1 minute and start to look for your demand zones at that area. But the criteria is price on the hourly must close below first. And you must literally see like a break and a retest on the 1 minute. So if I were to clear the candles away, right, so it's a bit easier to see the price action at that time. Okay, let's clear this. Wait, one candle. Okay, this is the break, right? On support resistance, we can all agree this is a break of support. Strong break. Big bearish candle, right? So then you'll be anticipating that, okay, if I want to sell as a support resistance trader, I need to wait for retest sell. Unless you want to be stupid and catch it here, then okay. But wait for retest. Then you can sell high, right? So if the next candle does this, rejects, this is your retest, correct? So just go down to the 1 minute, you'll see the same structure. Break, retest. So usually on the 1 minute, right, I slow down my entries. Like I don't rush into taking sells, but I need to see this close strong below first. Then I will start to mark up the start of that close below. So it's this zone here. So you notice there are a few areas you can take shots on the 1 minute because the 1 minute is a very small time frame. You can have your retest happen multiple times within an hour. So this rejection here, if you want to take it, entry will be on this next candle lower high after the rejection to the 1 minute zone. Stop loss must be above this wick, then just go down. So even if it comes back retest like this, fail your new zone, because this zone is invalid, right? Because this thing tapped. If let's say you were slow to react, look for this zone now. So you notice this zone here, again, inside the box, once it creates the lower high, if you prefer to be more comfortable, wait for it to close, break the structure first, retest lower high, then take your entry somewhere here. So the 1 minute is a bit more tricky as to where you can catch your trades from. But there will be multiple entries after a support breaks and retests. Multiple entries. So you don't really have to rush. So you can take it somewhere here because there's lower highs. Since this one might make you a bit scared because this one will be like, oh shit, it's breaking the highs. But it's still holding this high, which is the supply zone that started this break of structure. So break here, then after that, it comes up to pull back into the zone. If you're not comfortable here, let this one close first. See whether it still respects this sell zone. If it respects, right, watch it to break structure again. So broken here. Retest. Is it lower high? Yes, go. Stop loss above the zone. 1 minute, don't squeeze the stop loss, man. The stop loss is already very small. If you still want to squeeze it, right, and you get stopped out, I cannot help you. But just give it. Just gotta give some pips to the market. It's already 5 pips. That's very tiny to me. I'm willing to take that. Because I know I want to come down to this 4-hour zone that I have on the left here. So this is the 4-hour zone here. Over here. I know if I want to take the trade, right, I'm going to come down here. So whatever, man. This is already like 16R. I'll give you like 2-3 more pips. Don't squeeze it. As not on the 1 minute. Just use the zones to protect you. So that's the break and retest. Is it clear? Because this is a bit more advanced, I would say, because you're mixing the two strategies up. And for support and resistance, just understand that support and resistance trades will be entered later. So you will have entries there on supply and demand. So again, right, if you miss this one, never mind. 18, there's another one on Friday, and that's the one that I took. So if I move forward to the 18, 18. Okay. FOMO, right? Because miss. Freaking big miss. So this was how you could have caught this trade. Somewhere at the top there. But if you miss this, it's okay. Price has to retrace at any point in time. So this is the 4-hour close before London. Just start to mark out your zones again. So this zone already tapped. So you look at the 4-hour, the next zone it is trying to reach for is going to be here on the 4-hour. right? Because there's clean candles on the left, nothing else already. And price already broke this structure here. So if you want to put it at this extreme wick low, then you're waiting for this to break. So this is your support, right? This area here. But if you are looking for your supply demand area, you want to sell from somewhere here. Your 4-hour zone will now be this supply zone over here. So ideally, you want to see price do this, then come down, right? But because it's so super bearish, the retracement is not going to be that deep. So that's why at this point in time, right, you need to look for support resistance to breaking for potential entries to come down. So I know earlier I said that if you have an imbalance area here like this, it's highly likely that price will test, right? But remember, I also said it doesn't have to test immediately. So this thing was left behind, potentially it might come back later on, which is why I think this week it might do a retracement to fill all these empty areas from the news move. Okay, so ignore this for the time being first. This is for this week's price action. So in this case here, if I were to put up this, so the orange lines are support. Okay, so if you know on the 4-hour you want to take your trades from here, start to go on the 1-hour, look out for zones that are possibly areas that you can take it off also. You can also mark this one here. You can also mark this one here. So at the 4-hour close, there was already a test here. But this was before I was trading, so this was a miss for me. So again, see, 1-hour zone. Let me zoom in. This is the 1-hour zone. Step into the zone, lower high. Go, just go. Just take it. Entry when it flips bearish, stop loss above. Take it down to your 4-hour zone below. So don't worry about the support. Ignore it. Because if you're trading supply and demand, support will not worry you. Just aim for the demand or supply zone when you're trading it. So this is the bottom one is the 4-hour. Let me put it up. This is the 4-hour zone. So just aim for this as your targets. So this one will have given you 36. So in this case, right, if you miss this entry, it's okay. Wait for this support to break. Yeah, Andy, I was looking at it. The no top wick thing, right? If this was at my time zone, right, I still might get tripped up by it. But the fact is, now that I've seen it so many times, right, I might just give it a chance really. Because this one got like one baby wick, I think, there. Baby, yeah. Possibly I will give it a chance. Because I see too many times that this thing just come off already. Plus, given the trend is very bearish, that's why this one I think I'll give it a chance. But it's still my weak point. So I think because this one is not my trading time in any case. So never mind. Very price forward. Ooh, break below support. And below all this support on the left. This junk on the left. Right? Watch for the retest. So if it continues going, I might just let it go. Don't chase it. It will retest in due time. Because support and resistance is always like that. Retest. At this candle, right? This is the 4-hour close. I will just watch on the 1 minute already. This area is the retest, right? Lower highs. I'll watch for structure to break. It's breaking. I will start to mark up my zone already. Okay. It's coming down back below it. Can I start to take my entries down? Now I'll watch for it to test into the zone again. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Okay, test. Then just take your trade down. I think this was the one I took. So at this point in time, right, I saw that this was my 1-hour zone. Price broke below, rejected, tap into the zone. Entry shot here. Stop loss above the zone. And just come down. I remember my TP was 152, which is the 4-hour zone. melt. I think after that it melted. Let's go to the one. Oh, sorry. Wait, sorry, my bad. My entry was not there. My entry was break, 1 hour close below. Sorry, my bad. 1 hour close below. Next 1 hour form lower highs. Yeah, I waited for this first. Sorry, guys. I waited for this. So when this happened, right, I started to go into the 1 minute to go and find the zones that were trying to push price down here. So if I have to clear away this candle, right? Sorry. Okay. It was at this area here. So if you took the earlier one, you get stopped out, right? But price still keeps coming down below the 1 hour. Don't be afraid to go and whack it again. Because sometimes on supply and demand, unfortunately, we can be early. That's just the pros and cons of it. So I will then, because it came back down again, so I'll then mark up this zone and I'll watch to see if price respects this zone when it comes back to it. Where is it?
Well,
Almost met. Yeah.
how would you discern between using supply and demand with the with support and resistance and without it?
When price is trending very hard, I will bring my support resistance into play already.
Okay.
So in this case, I see that price came down, broke structure, didn't really come back to the zone anymore, right? So I'm watching for the 1 minute to continue to break structure. So as I mark this and I mark this. So I will continue to keep marking up my 1 minute zones because I either want to take entries near to this level, or if all these areas can hold, right, then I'll try to take it down. So what I was doing that day, right, I was just watching the price action. So this was the latest break of structure, price tested here. So this zone is invalid. So I then started to keep shifting my zones because on the 1 minute, price moves quite quickly. So sometimes you have to keep watching the breaks of structure. So this one here, break of structure here. I look at this zone here. So let me zoom in. This zone, right? And I was trying to see, okay, there's so many rejections. I didn't take this one because like what Andy said, no top wick. So sometimes I do get jammed out on this. I'm not super confident when the candle doesn't have a top wick. Then I just waited. Then it came out again, no top wick. So I waited again. The next one, okay, this one has a wick, fine. But the next bullish candle kind of broke it, I remember. And then I didn't take the trade. Then again, stupid candle had no top wick. But the moment this bearish candle failed to break these highs, because I already saw so many of these candles holding this zone, right? I took my entry because I already had the break of structure on the support and resistance side. So I just took it down from here to stop loss above the zone to 152. Does this one make sense? So if you enter early, you might have gotten stopped out on this one when it tried to test the zone again. But keep watching the break of structure because if the lower time frame can keep breaking bearish structure, it's still coming down because lower time frames will lead into the higher time frames. So after that, we just see price just melt down into 152. Okay, here. That's my entry. So yeah, that's how I caught it on the support and resistance.